Morning, morning, morning. Yes, we're back with another episode, another rider. Today we have Jamel. Is that saying it right?
Yeah, that's correct. Morning.
And he's owns his own cleaning company. He has from 2016, and we've just been talking about ways as a small businessman to develop. So obviously I owned my own business when I used to live in Kenya, and we've just been sharing ideas and things. So I just thought it'd be something that we could all learn from. So nice to have you here today, Jamel.
Always a pleasure, actually. Long journey, early, getting up, but
okay.
You know what we've got to do to get.
So you've run this company since, is it 2016?
Yeah, that's right, 2016. Yeah.
And you started off?
I started off with, I started off before 2016, and I opened the business in 2016. So when I started off, I was cleaning with my mum. I think I was about 16 then. Waking up 5 o'clock in the morning, going to hotels and cleaning with my mum. Then I went to uni, and then obviously I've left uni now.
What did you study in uni?
So I did physics.
Okay.
So I didn't want to work for anyone else. Mm-hmm. So I've always wanted to work for myself. So when I finished university, I did my 3 years there for my undergraduate. Then I came out. I said, let me go back. I did my masters as well. Then when I finished my masters, I didn't have any money, and I didn't know what to do with life going forward. So I said to myself, you know what, I want to work for myself. So went into under my partner's kitchen, and I got out the cleaning stuff out of there. And then that's when I started cleaning with her product, and that's how I started myself.
And what did she say about you using all her products to make money?
Boy, it wasn't a good thing, because I was using all her products and she was paying for it. So you actually have to thank her, Latoya, for actually letting me use her products, because she was buying them and I was just taking out.
And you're still with her today?
No, sadly she passed away a year and a half ago. She had stomach cancer. So she got diagnosed with stomach cancer, and she passed away.
Okay.
May last year.
I didn't see that coming, but you know, I hope you're going strong. And
yeah, it's been pretty good. I'll be honest with you, since I'm not a very spiritual person, but since she's passed away, I've got myself back together, as in I've let the girls work on what there's working, but now I'm back. I've been doing pretty well for myself, and I'm just focused at the moment.
That's good. So you started off using your partner's cleaning products. Yeah. So it's just you as a one-man band, or was you with your mum doing it?
Yeah.
You was with your mum doing it?
So yeah, I was with my mum in the mornings doing the cleaning. So she showed me how to clean. Basically, first it was chambermaids, it's in hotels, and then it was officers, and she gave me a job, which I was on good money back then. So she gave me a job in an office. I was on I think I was on £10 an hour at 16. So back then it was good money in the morning, and I was making £30 a day. Yeah. Before I went to college.
Yeah. So it all builds up. £30 a day times 25 days or 28 days. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. All you have to do is get up in the morning.
Yeah, it was hard, but you know.
Yeah. So talk about the growth. How have you grown? What's your staff now?
So my staff now is, I've got 21 cleaners out on the roads, and I've got 4 admin staff.
Okay. And what kind of contracts? You said chambermaid. What's a chambermaid?
So chambermaid is where, with my mum, was where basically work in hotels. So I'm pretty good at spreading beds. So you spread that, you go into a hotel, you go into the rooms, and you have to make sure beds are changed, bathrooms are cleaned, carpets hoovered, and that's like, you have to be in and out. But you have a style to actually, it's weird, but you have a style to actually how to spread a bed. You can't just spread the bed out, you just throw the cover over. You've got to tuck in and fold corners, and
military style.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's where I learned how to clean.
Alright, that's good. So you got 21 staff and 4 admin, and then we spoke about how you got admin staff from around the world.
Yeah.
You want to talk about that, the countries they come from, and how you found them, sourced them?
So with my admin staff, I'll start off with the Philippines. I'll start off with those. So basically, I have 2 in the Philippines, and how I start with the 2 in the Philippines were, I used to do cleaning for one of my friends. We did a business together. So he was doing what you call, I can't remember what they called. So basically, he rented out rooms or apartments
Well, like Airbnb?
Yeah, Airbnb, that's it. So he had an Airbnb, and he had apartments all over London and all over Southampton, and so we started there, and I was cleaning for him. And what happened is, obviously, Corona happened, so his business has started to close. So I had to find a new way of cleaning, because I was obviously by myself, and I had maybe 1 or 2 people helping as well. And I spoke to him, and he advised me that he had a virtual assistant, so I should speak to her. And then that virtual assistant put me onto, she's from the Philippines, sorry, put me onto one of her friends. And then from there, we grew admin staff in the Philippines. So there's only 2 of us at the moment in the Philippines. Mm-hmm. But we got those 2. We got one started, then we got another started.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's...
And then the other 2, I've got one in England, in the UK, and one in Poland. Mm-hmm. So
now, communication, obviously you're talking across a certain amount of language. English is like a business language of the world. Do you find there's any hiccups, any misunderstandings?
Right, so what people seem to think with the virtual assistants is you can get a virtual assistant who speaks English. Yeah, that's true, don't get me wrong, but you have to pay a little bit extra. So what I did is, because no one was working in 2020, when the career was about a year off, no one's really working. So I said to myself, I'm not going to work, because obviously there's no money coming in. So there was a little bit of customers. So I got admin staff. I got the admin staff from the Philippines, the first one. She spoke English, but she didn't really speak good English. So I sat down with her, and the great thing about, her name's Abigail, by the way, the great thing about Abigail is that she taught herself English, which was great, because now she can actually, we have a full-blown conversation in English. So, and
well, she has an incentive when she's getting the money.
yeah, that's that as well. Plus, she knew how to use a computer. She knew how to use Google Drive. Once I gave it to her, she just taught herself how to use the systems I was using. She's a bit like my other brain, to be honest. So she taught herself how to use the systems I was using, and then we would sit down together and go through everything one by one. So whatever I was doing, we built the system from Google Drive, and then we just, obviously, a bit of money started to come in, so we started to buy other systems, which helped us and helped her, basically.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's good. So what have you learned from your whole business acumen that you wish you knew when you started?
What I've learned. First thing I always say to people, which I was always told by my accountant from the beginning, is you always have to count the numbers. As in pounds coming in, or whatever currency you're in, count your numbers, because if you don't know your numbers, you don't know what's coming in, you don't know what's going out. So I've been fortunate enough to have an accountant, always get an accountant, because I never got an accountant in the beginning. But when I did get an accountant, they kept their job is to obviously keep the business flowing on their side, the numbers side, and I bring the business in. So that's how I've always looked at things and thought to myself, that's the way forward for me. And it's done me pretty well just to have someone who I can go to and look at my numbers and how I'm doing things, and introducing me to other clients.
Does your accountant live here then?
Yeah, my accountant's in the UK. He's actually pretty good, actually, because he's about 10 minutes from my house. So he's got his own business as well. So he's been doing this for, him and his wife, they've got a big team. They've been doing it about 20, 30 years they've been doing this. So they know what they're doing and help me along the way.
Alright, that's good. That's good. So what does the future hold for you?
Everyone asks me that question, and I'll be honest, my honest opinion, I've been very fortunate, because the type of clients I have going forward are very high end. So the future is pretty, at the moment I'm smiling right now because I don't know what's happening going forward, but I'm in a good position.
Your gut feels positive about the situation.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I'm happy for you on that note of things. Has there been any moment when you thought this isn't going to work out, and what motivated you to carry on?
My accountant motivated me to carry on. So before all of this, I never explained what happened in the beginning. So what happened in the beginning is doing Airbnb, but I did Airbnb twice with 2 different people. One before I made a good friend, but the other person who I did business with was a lady, I can't remember her name, but we did business, and like I said, you got to count your numbers. She didn't count her numbers very well. So what happened was I lost out on a good amount of money. I say about £25,000, but I still had to pay the cleaners.
Oh, so so when you say she didn't count her numbers, was she spending money frivolously?
Yeah.
And
so yeah. So when it came down to it, she couldn't pay me. So because I was just starting up in the beginning. That's when I didn't have a business. Starting up in the beginning, I was getting people to come in and help me work, friends and family. Obviously, because I had friends and family who were growing the business, they trusted me. Basically, it was a trust thing. So I ended up owing out £25,000. That was most probably 10 to myself and 15 to the cleaners. So I sat down with my accountant, another friend who's a mortgage advisor actually, who I started cleaning for. This is what I mean, when you're cleaning for yourself and you meet people, you start to meet people in a good position. So I had a mortgage advisor I was cleaning for. So he sat me down and he said, you know what, I'm going to bring you to my friend. He's an accountant. So anyway, I sat down with the accountant, and my accountant said to me, don't worry about it, everyone loses money, but like you just asked me, what was you going to do with the business? Or are you going to shut it down? Because you can shut it down and then that's it, business is closed, you don't have to pay anyone. But he said to me, don't do that, because obviously people are always telling you to just shut your business down and restart. So he said to me, no, don't do that, because if as a person, you've got friends and family who need money, who need their money because they worked for it. And so I said, you know what, I'm going to carry on. And he just said to me, his exact words to me was, you go find the jobs and I'll deal with the business end, don't worry about that. So that's what I did. And then I ended up paying off all the cleaners, and I didn't pay myself back. So basically I lost time. To me, I didn't lose money, because if I thought about the money, that's when my brain would have just, I sold my car and everything. So I said to myself, I'm going to start all over again. My partner sat me down as well and said to me, you know what, just start again and just keep yourself going.
So your partner, she was very supportive.
Yeah.
Sounds
very,
like a great woman, man.
Yeah, very. So she just sat me down and said, because we had 2 cars at the time. So she said to me, get rid of my car, which I did, sold my car. And she said, just start all over again. And that was it. And then I just gradually built up the money, started to pay everyone off every month. I would give them a good amount of money every month to pay them off. And then by the time, just before, I don't know, say a year, 2 years, everyone was paid off.
So during that, after that, were they understanding, the staff, that the circumstances that hit? Did they walk off? Are they still with you?
So I've got a whole new team now, but one of them, which we're good friends, we've always been friends since that, she stayed. So she was cleaning for me, and then I actually helped her build her own business. So now she's got her own cleaning business. So because she stayed, she kind of learned what I did, and because I told her my mistakes. I was honest with all of them and what happened.
Yeah.
And I'd say, 2 of them stayed, and the 2 that stayed have now got their own businesses. So I'm able to have cleaners from different parts of London. So if I needed a cleaner in Watford, for example,
you could borrow her.
I can borrow her, and I need one in Woolwich. She'll send me her cleaners to go to Woolwich. So we've kind of built a system together. Yeah.
Network. It's like you're all branches.
Yeah.
But you have an understanding. You money, because nice what you're saying. Yeah, that makes total sense. That does. So good. What would be your advice to someone who wants to start a cleaning business?
My advice now to anyone who wants to start a cleaning business: definitely go for it. Definitely. Always be persistent. And I would say the best thing is to get to know your clients. So me personally, I'm glad I cleaned myself, because I cleaned myself, and I would always class myself as a cleaner, even though I've got degrees. I always class myself as a cleaner. I understand what the client wants. So I can speak to any client, doesn't matter where you come from, doesn't matter if you're rich. I treat everyone the same. That's one thing, always treat every single person the same. And then you'll get your rewards from treating them the same, because you start to make other friends in the business. And for me, I've been fortunate because of the type of clients I have. Their friends want cleaners, and it's just started to. Because I don't have a website really. I don't have anything, and it's just grown because people have word of mouth have got me to where I've got.
Would you-
And I'm understanding when I speak to clients.
Would you bother having a website now, or would you just carry on? Because if you're working it well without a website,
So
the argument is you clearly you
Right.
don't need one.
yes, but this is what I've done. So I've got a website actually happening right now. It's in the process, so I don't have one. It's not up yet. But the reason why I'd say have a website is because when you start to have clients who is recommended to you, because no one doesn't really come to me anymore. They just get recommended to me and then they go through my admin stuff. If you get recommended to me, then you're a VIP client. But they have the opportunity to look
To your
at,
history,
of what you've been doing. But my business doesn't actually come from social media. It comes from word of mouth. But because it's there or will be there, they can look at it and go, okay, he's actually doing okay. He's not ending anyone. It's just he's doing what he says he's doing.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. That's really good. So, in business, obviously, as a black man, do you have any issues? It doesn't seem like you do, but anywhere you're trying to win contracts or get contracts, and
So
you feel that
there are issues. There's always issues as a black person, always. And because I'll say a black man, gold tooth, and I look quite young, which I'm pretty glad of everything I've gone through. Where we're going to right now, there's issues because it's a private airport. They deal with private clients. It's not your standard airport for the public. So you have to go through security and all of that. But for me, I wouldn't say it's a race issue or anything like that. I think it's the way you present yourself. So with me, they love me to bits, and I know that because when they speak to me, they always want stuff. But I've got other cleaners there as well. Some who are black, some who are Rasta, I've just got cleaners there. But because I think the ones I do have there at the moment, I'm not going to say all of them. I'll say maybe two or three of them. They're not presenting themselves well to the clients because I say don't go in with a chip on your shoulder, because once you do that, they
pigeonhole you.
Yeah, and then they don't forget that.
Yeah, because you fitted their rhetoric in their eyes, even if it was their own fault.
Yeah. So I've had issues with them, but I've never got their issues. I've never taken their issues on board because I've always said to myself, everyone's got family issues or home issues. I leave whatever I leave at home. When I get to work, it's a total. I'm there to work and understand what's going on. Especially
after what happened with your partner.
Yeah.
But how do you manage that? Because obviously you're probably dealing with grown adults, men, and you're having to teach them, trying to convince them to behave in a different manner that they're not accustomed to.
So my trick for that, this is where it comes into, because I cleaned myself and I go on site, I always clean with them. Everyone says to me, oh, don't do that, because you don't need to do that. But because they see how I present myself and how I deal with things, they kind of mimic what I do. And then I always speak to them and say to them, listen, this is how I do things, and this is how we're going to do it. Because if you do it my way, I'm not going to say always do it my way, but you have to know when to fight your battles and how to fight them.
My way gets us paid.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, it gets food on the table and a roof over your head.
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. But to get a private airport as a thing, that's a good. Was this a job that was recommended as well? So
this is a job that was recommended. So I have a contractor who supplies me with cleaning supplies, because I've got contracts all over London. Got big contracts all over London. So they've gone to him. He's a white guy, and they've gone to him and asked him for cleaning, and he said no, you need to come to me. So obviously they've come to me now, and I've gone in there, they've interviewed me, they've given me a month trial, and then from that month they've just kept me on, and they come to me for advice to find out what to do.
You know what, this has been a great interview. We're coming to the end of our journey. So before I finish, what's the name of your company?
Dust and Spray Limited.
And can you be found on any form of social media?
We can be found on, if you type us in, we can found on internet. We've got social media coming up as Instagram, but it's not fully there. But if you type in Dust and Spray Limited, it comes up.
Well, thanks a lot for that. To the listeners out there, the name will be in the link below Yeah, we're coming to the airport, so we had to round up. But we wish you well on your future endeavours in life.
Thank you very much, and thank you for...
We hope that episode enhanced your life. We post an interview every day, as well as vlogging on our social media channels. Don't forget to subscribe to get our latest episode.